Hello students, today I will be explaining the 12th chapter in your English course book, The Voter by Chinua Achebe. I will be trying to explain the chapter in a very simple way. Please do support by sharing and subscribing to my channel, and also don't forget to click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. And if you want any changes in the way of explanation, please do tell me in the comment section. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So the chapter's name is The Voter by Chinua Achebe. So first let us see a few points about the author. Chinua Achebe is a Nigerian author. He is a Nigerian and he is a novelist. He is a poet, professor, critic, etc. So he has a lot of specialities. He is a novelist, poet, he is a professor, he is a critic. And his novels mainly focus on the traditions of Igbo society. So his novels are mainly regarding the traditions of the Igbo society. And he also tells about the effect of Christian influences, the clash of Western and African traditions. So Igbo is actually an African society. He is basically from Nigeria. And his novels also focuses on the effects of Christian influence, clash of Western and traditional values of Africa, all these during the colonial era. And some of his other works, other than Voter, some of his other works, so some other works of Chinua Achebe are Things Fall Apart. One work's name is Things Fall Apart. Another work's name is Arrow of God, etc. So these are the basic informations regarding Chinua Achebe. So he is a Nigerian author. He is a novelist, poet, professor, critic. His works mainly focuses on the traditions of Igbo, that is an African society, and also the effects of Christian influence, mainly during and after the colonial era. Some of his other works are Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God, etc. So these are some of the points regarding the author. Now let us move on to the chapter, The Voter. So this chapter mainly, if you see, focuses on how the election system works, okay, the system of election and how it works. And it also says how money plays a very important role, or the role of money, and how money overpowers honesty, values, etc. Okay, so here it is clearly said how money overpowers the things like honesty, values, trust, etc. So that is what is a basic idea of this chapter. It says about the election system, and it also says how money overpowers the values of honesty, trust, etc. So now let us move on to the chapter. So please keep your textbooks in front of you, and you can also see below line by line the sentences of the chapter. So one of the most important character of this chapter is Rufus Okeke. Rufus Okeke. Okay, Rufus Okeke, he is also called as Roof for short. Okay, Rufus Okeke, he is called as Roof for short, that is, his friends call him Roof, and he was an educated and hard-working person. Okay, he was a very popular man in his village. And why was he popular? That is, he was popular because he was a very energetic young man. Okay, he was a very energetic young man, and he was also loved by the villagers because of some special reasons. So why did the villagers love him so much? The villagers loved him so much because he had not abandoned the village in order to seek work. So here is the main point. Rufus Okeke has not abandoned his village to seek work. Okay, that is, there is a usual practice among youngsters that after their education, they usually go, if they did their education in villages, after that they go to towns in search of work, because in towns they may get more money, they may get more choices for work. So because of that, there is a habit among the youngsters to abandon or leave their village seeking work, in search of work, and going to towns. But Roof did not do that. He did not abandon his village in search of work, and that is why he was loved by his villagers. And according to the author, Roof had spent 2 years as a bicycle repairer's apprentice. So Roof, he had worked as a bicycle repairer's apprentice. Bicycle repairer's apprentice. Apprentice means like an assistant. He had worked as in a bicycle repair shop, and this shop was in Port Harcourt. So Roof had worked for 2 years as a bicycle repairer's apprentice in Port Harcourt, but he had given it up upon his free will, a bright future, to return to his people. But Roof did not stay there for long. After 2 years, he left the job. Upon his free will only, he left the job and he returned to his village. He came back to his village. So because of all these reason, he was liked, or he was loved by the people of his village. And it is said that why did he leave the job and return to his village? He wanted to guide the people in difficult times. It is said that he wanted to give guidance to the people of his village during difficult times. That is why he came back. He left his job and he came back to his village. Now, it is not that the people of his village needed much guidance. It is not that the people of his village needed much guidance. So what is his village's name? His village's name is Umuofia. Okay, Umuofia is Roof's village. Okay, so it is not that the people needed much guidance, but Roof somehow wanted to be in his village. He wanted to always be in his village to help his people. The villagers belonged en masse to the People's Alliance Party. So the villagers belonged en masse. En masse means all of them together. Okay, all of them together. They belonged to a People's Alliance Party. So they all belong to a party called as People's Alliance Party. Okay, in short it is called as PAP. So the people of Umuofia village, en masse, all of them together, they belong to a party called as People's Alliance Party. All of them belong to People's Alliance Party. And the main person of this People's Alliance Party was called as Chief the Honorable. Okay, the main person, Chief the Honorable of the party, his name was Marcus Achebe. So Marcus Achebe was the main person of People's Alliance Party. Now the next personality is introduced in the chapter. His name is Marcus Achebe. The first person who was introduced is Roof, the first person is Roof, and the second person is Marcus Achebe. So Rufus Okeke and Marcus Achebe. Roof was a young gentleman of the village of Umuofia, and Marcus Achebe was a chief, the honorable of PAP, that is People's Alliance Party. Now what happened afterwards? So he was the chief of the party, and now let us write the name again, that is Marcus Achebe. He was the chief of the People's Alliance Party, and it is said that nobody in the village doubted that he only would be elected in his constituency. Now elections were coming, and had people had no doubt, that is, they were very sure that Marcus Ebe only will be elected to the constituency. Why did people think like that? Why was the people so sure that Marcus Ebe will be elected? It is said that opposition or the opposite group, opposition to him, to Marcus Ebe, was like a proverbial fly trying to move a dunghill. So what is a fly trying to move a dunghill? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this proverb? Fly trying to move a dunghill. The opposition to him was, it is said that, was very futile to him, was very without power. Marcus Ebe was so powerful that to him the opposition was just like a fly. Fly means, you know that fly is very small. And fly trying to move a dunghill. Dunghill is huge. So imagine a small fly trying to move a dunghill. So here opposition is compared to a fly and dunghill is Marcus Ebe. So if the opposition is trying to defeat Marcus Ebe, it is not at all possible. So that is why opposition to him was very futile, and he was so strong and powerful that a fly-like opposition cannot defeat him. That is why the people did not have any doubt that Marcus Ebe was going to win the elections again. So that was why people were sure. It would have been ridiculous enough without coming as it did now from a complete non-entity. So the people were so sure that Marcus Ebe will be re-elected. Now, as was to be expected, Rufus was in service of the Honorable Minister. So now Rufus, the young man of the village, was in service of the Honorable Minister, that is Marcus Ebe. That is, Rufus was working for Marcus Ebe. And you know, working for a politician means what he has to do. He will be mainly going for campaigning. So he became an expert in election campaigning at all levels. So Rufus was an expert. He was an expert in election campaign in all levels, that is village, local government, national level. He was an expert. And Rufus was very smart that he gave a warning to the minister. He warned the minister that, what did he warn the minister? Rufus warned the minister that there was a radical change in the thinking of the people of Umuofia. So he warned that now there is a radical change in the thinking of the people of the village. Thinking of people of village. So he warned the minister, that is, he warned Marcus Ebe, that there was a radical change in the thinking of the people since the last election. During the last election, the people were thinking differently, but now the people are thinking in a very different way. That was given as a warning by Rufus. Rufus was so smart in election campaign. He was an expert in election campaign that he was able to tell that there was a change in the thinking of the people of village. Now, what was the change in the thinking of the people? What was this radical change? What was this fundamental change which came in the thinking of the people? The villagers had had 5 years. So after the first election, the next election came after 5 years. So 5 years they had time to see how quickly and plentiful politics brought wealth, titles, etc. So in this 5 years, the villagers understood one thing. The villagers understood one thing. What they understood is politics can easily bring many things. Politics can easily bring wealth. Politics can easily bring many big titles. Politics can easily bring degrees. That means the villagers understood that politics can bring many benefits. Okay, basically they understood that politics can bring many benefits in the life of people. And why did they these benefits, why did the villagers feel that politics can bring benefit? Because these honors and benefits had come so readily to the man whom they had given their votes. Okay, why they understood is they have seen one person who is getting all these, that is Marcus Ebe was a person to whom villagers gave their vote before 5 years. Okay, gave vote before 5 years, and this vote was given for free. They did not get any benefit, but the only benefit person who was benefited with this was Marcus Ebe. He got wealth, he got titles, he got benefits, he got so many benefits after the election. But the villagers who gave the vote for free, they did not get any benefit at all. So this is why the people felt that the person whom they gave vote for free before 5 years had got all the benefit, and now they are ready to try it in a different way. So now the villagers thought, now we will not give our vote for free. Now they are going to try a different way. The villagers felt that now we also should get some benefit. Why is that only one person is getting benefit after the election? They decided that we also need some benefit out of the election. So how did people understand that politics can bring so much wealth, so much power? So what they said, that they were seeing Marcus Ebe. So Marcus Ebe was a not too successful mission school teacher. So before entering politics, Marcus Ebe was a school teacher, a mission school teacher, and that too he was not too successful. Then after that, he entered politics at a time, it is said that he entered politics in a time when a chance of dismissal was arising. There was a chance that he was going to get dismissed from the school. That time he entered politics. And why was there a chance for dismissal? It is said that a female teacher had given a complaint against Marcus Ebe. So for some reasons, a female teacher had given a complaint against him, and he was about to get dismissed. That time correctly he entered into politics. And today he is chief, the honorable. He is in a very good position. He is chief, the honorable. And after entering politics, after becoming chief, the honorable, his life changed. How did his life change? It is said that he has 2 long cars, that is 2 big cars he was having, and he had built himself the biggest house anyone had seen in this part. He had constructed a huge house for himself, that no one had seen such a big house. But let it be said that none of these success had gone to Marcus' head. Even though he was very successful, it is said that the villagers said that he was not very proud, or he did not change. The success did not get into his head. It is said that he was still devoted to his people. Marcus still was devoted to his people. Even though he became so successful, it is not that he forgot everything. He was still devoted. He liked his people. He liked his villagers so much. So he was a school teacher. He entered politics when there was a chance of dismissal, and his dismissal chance was because a female teacher had given a complaint against him. And during that time he cleverly joined politics, and now he is chief, the honorable. He has 2 long cars and a huge house, but still he is devoted to his people. So that was his speciality. Even though he became so successful, still he was devoted to his people. And whenever he could, he left the good things of the capital and returned to his village. He always visited his village. Marcus always visited his village, and When he visited his village, the thing about the village was the village neither had running water, there was no running water in the village, and there was no electricity. So you can understand how backward the village of Umuofia was. It did not have running water nor it had electricity, but even then Marcus loved his village so much that he always visited his village. But one more thing is specially mentioned here. Even though the village did not have any of these, Marcus have installed a private plant to supply electricity to his new house. That is, he had electricity in his new house. He had made a private plant to supply electricity, but his village did not have. So that was just like a sarcasm the author is telling. He had electricity supply to his new house. Now the people of the village knew that he got all these fortune because of politics. Okay, so all the source of all his fortune was politics. When he was a normal school teacher, he did not have any of these, but his source of fortune was politics. And unlike the little bird who ate and drank and went out to to challenge his personal spirit, so he knew the source of his spirit and source of his good fortune, and he returned to his village. He was not like the little bird. So here again one proverb is coming: little bird who ate and drank and went out to challenge his personal spirit, and went out. So what is meant by the little bird who ate and drank and went out? That means he did not forget his roots. Okay, he did not forget his roots, or he did not forget his village. See, a little bird who after eating and drinking, if it goes out forgetting the source, that is not good. But he was not like that. He was not like forgetting the source or forgetting your source of nourishment. So what was Marcus' source of nourishment? Marcus' source of nourishment was his village. Okay, so he did not forget his village. Whenever he had time, he came back to his village. So he was not like the little bird who ate and drank and then went away. He always remembered the people of the village, and he always came back to the village. So that was one good thing about Marcus. Okay, so Marcus had christened to his new house. So his new house was named as Umuofia Mansion. On the name of his village only, he named his house. So it was called as Umuofia Mansion in honor of his village. And on the day of the christening of his new house, christening means on the day of the opening of his new house, the housewarming day, he had slaughtered 5 bulls and countless goats to entertain the people on the day it was opened. So on the opening day, he had slaughtered, or he had killed 5 bulls, goats, etc. to give a feast to the people of his village, feast to his village people. And the house of Marcus, that is Umuofia Mansion, it was opened by the archbishop. The archbishop was a religious head during that time. It was opened by the archbishop, and on that day the villagers got a grand feast. In that feast, for that feast, 5 bulls, many goats, all were killed, and a grand feast was given to the people of Umuofia. So that is why we say that after getting all the fortunes also, he did not forget his village. Everyone was full of praise for him. People all started praising Marcus, because Marcus did not forget his village. He had given whatever the villagers wanted. So the people were full of praise for Marcus. And it is said that one old man said, "Our son is a good man." Our son means Marcus, they said, is a good man, and he is not like the mortar which as soon as food comes its way turns its back on the ground. That means Marcus was not at all selfish. Okay, Marcus was not at all selfish. It was not like the mortar which, as soon as food comes, it turns its back on the ground. He was not selfish like that. He did not forget his villagers. So he was a good man. He was not selfish. But when the feasting was over, the villagers told themselves that they had underrated the power of the ballot paper. So after having all the feast, the people of the village started thinking. They said that they have underrated the power of the ballot paper. Power of the ballot paper. What is a ballot paper? Ballot paper is where you cast your vote. Okay, so the people felt that 5 years before they did not understand that the ballot paper had so much power. They had underrated, they had not rated the power of ballot paper correctly. So they decided that this time this time they are not going to do do the same mistake, so they should not do it again. So they were trying to change their the way of thinking. So the people felt that they had underrated. They did not feel that ballot paper has so much power, because Marcus' life only changed because of ballot paper. So the people had underrated the power of the ballot paper, and they decided that they are not going to do it again. So now what did the villagers decided to do? So the chief, the Honorable Marcus Ebe, was not unprepared. So Marcus also knew that after 5 years people will change. So he was not unprepared, that is, he was prepared. He knew that this time people will ask for some benefit. Okay, some benefit has to be given to the people, otherwise they are not going to give him vote. So what he did is, he decided to do something for that. What he decided, he had drawn 5 months' salary in advance. Marcus took 5 months' salary in advance. In advance, he took 5 months' salary, and he changed a few £100 into shining shillings. Okay, so he changed some £100, a few £100 into shillings. So now a 12 shilling is £1. Okay, 12 shilling is £1. So it is just like converting, we can say, notes into coins. Okay, he converted. So if you say 12 shillings is £1. So he converted some £100 into shillings, and what he did after that, and armed his campaign boys. So he had many campaign boys, and you know, one of the most important person in his campaigning is Rufus. Okay, he gave his campaign boys with elegant little jute bags, some beautiful jute bags he gave to this campaign boys, and in this jute bag they kept these shillings, and told these campaign boys to distribute it among the people. So because people are waiting for benefit this time, so Marcus already knew that, he was prepared for that. So he took 5 months' salary in advance, and some few pounds, £100, a few £100 he took, converted them into shillings, and he gave it to his campaign boys in beautiful jute bags. He gave it to them, and after that, what he did is, okay, after that, he armed his campaign boys with eloquent little jute bags, and in the day he made his speeches. So daytime he was campaigning. So Marcus made his speeches during the daytime, and nighttime his stalwarts, that is his campaign boys, they were conducting whispering campaign. What is whispering campaign? Other one, speeches, is the normal campaign which you do at daytime, and night there was some secret campaigning. Secret campaigning basically means they were going and giving money to the people to buy their votes. And as I told just before, the most important person among the campaigners was Rufus. Rufus was the main person who was doing all these secret whispering campaigns for Marcus. Now, what did Rufus tell to the people? So there was a group of elders, there was a group of old people, and to this group of elders, Roof said, "We have a minister from our village." Okay, see, our minister is from our own village, and one of our own sons, he is our own son. And this he was talking in the house of Ezenwa. Okay, so he was talking to in the house of Ezenwa, and that is elders were all sitting together. And what great honor can a village have? So he was telling, our minister is from our village. He is our own son. So this is an honor for our village. So our village is honored to have minister from the same place. Do you ever stop to ask yourself why we should be singled out for this honor? So why are we getting this honor? So Rufus was trying to make the people feel that voting for Marcus is their honor. Their village is honored because they have the minister from their own village. So he asked, why are we having this honor for having having the minister from our own village? We are having this honor because our party, that is PAP, our party favored, or our village is favored by the leaders of the party. Okay, PAP favor the village. That is why our village is so honored. And it is said that whether or not we cast our paper to Marcus, if we put our vote to Marcus or not, this party will continue to rule. And he also made the people feel more confident, telling that if Marcus come to power, think of the pipe-borne water they have promised us. We are going to get pipe-borne water. That is, already it was said that there was no running water. Okay, maybe they must have been collecting water from a well. So after the elections, they had promised that PAP, if they win, they will give them pipe-borne water. So that was the promise. So don't forget the promise which they had given to us. So that was the promise which they had given. Now besides Roof and his assistants, there were 5 elders in the room. So Roof and his assistants were there in the room. Along with them, there were 5 elders in the room. And so Roof was trying to somehow make them vote for Marcus. Somehow he was telling many reasons, and they were trying to make the people attracted to give vote for Marcus. So there was Roof and his people, Roof and his assistants, and there were 5 elders in the room. And they were all sitting in a circle. They were sitting near a lamp. There was an old hurricane lamp with cracked sooty glass chimney. That chimney lamp was there, and around the chimney lamp all these elders were sitting on a low stool. And on front of these each elderly person there was 2 shillings kept. So Roof had kept 2 shillings. So this is a whispering campaign which is happening at night. This is happening, and 2 shillings were given. After telling all these benefits, 2 shillings were kept in front of them, and they were asked to cast their vote to Marcus. And outside, beyond the fastened door, the moon kept a straight face. This is just to show that it was night time, the moon was shining, and that time these 5 elders and Roof and his assistants were sitting in a room, and 2 shillings were kept in front of these elders. Now what did the elders say? Okay, we said that Ezenwa, the elders were sitting in the room, and what did the elders say after seeing these 2 shillings? So the elders said that we believe every word you say be true. So Ezenwa said that all your words are true. Okay, words are true. Whose words? Roof's words. Roof was telling, no, our village is blessed, our village is honored to have our own son as the minister, and we will be getting a pipe-borne water when they win, and PAP will support. So all these things are true. Whatever you tell are true, we believe. We shall, every one of us, drop his paper for Marcus, and we promise that we will put our vote for Marcus only. Okay, we will put our vote for Marcus only. who would who would leave an Onzo fest and go to a poor ritual meal? So what Ezenwa said is, we will put our vote for Marcus, sure, but who will leave an Ozo feast and go for a poor ritual meal? What do you mean by leaving Ozo feast and going for poor ritual meal? So first here we have to understand what is an Ozo feast. An Ozo feast is a highest important religious festival of the Igbo clan. Okay, so Ozo feast we can say is a grand feast or a big festival of the Igbo, that Nigerian group. So who will leave this grand feast and go for poor ritual meal? What do they mean by that? They mean that 2 shillings is very small amount. We will not agree for a poor ritual meal. We will only agree for a grand feast. So that was what Ezenwa, the elderly person, was trying to make Proof understand. So he said that who will leave an Ozo feast and go for a poor ritual meal? We will naturally cast our vote for Marcus only. And he again said that, tell Marcus he has our papers and our wives' papers too. So they said, these elders said, Ezenwa said that, you go and tell to Marcus that our votes and our wives' votes both are there for Marcus only. But what we do say is, finally what they said, 2 shillings is shameful. They said that 2 shillings is very less amount. 2 shillings is shameful. And after telling this, he brought the lamp close and tilted it at the money before him as if to make sure that he has not mistaken the value. He just looked at the 2 shillings on the ground again and he said that 2 shillings is very less amount. It is shameful. Tell this to Marcus. Our votes and our wife's votes are for him only, but 2 shillings is very less. And again they said, if Marcus was a poor man, okay, I should be the first one to give him paper free. So Ezenwa also said, if Marcus was a very poor man, I would have given him free vote, as I did before. Before 5 years, he had given, or all the villagers had given free vote to Marcus. That time Marcus was not rich. So if Marcus was a poor man like that, we would have given him free vote. But now the situation is different. But today Marcus is a great man and he thinks like a great man. So that is why they are telling that we did not ask him money yesterday and we shall not ask him tomorrow, but today is our day. So Ezenwa said that today is our day. That is, today is our chance. Today is our day. That is, now only we have a chance to get money or to get some benefit from Marcus. So today is our day. So that is why we are asking for some benefit. So they were not satisfied with the 2 shillings which was given to him and said that we did not ask him money yesterday because yesterday he was poor. And we will not ask him money tomorrow. Tomorrow we cannot tell. But today is our day. So today we have to make use of the situation. And Ezenwa also said that we have climbed the Iroko tree. What do you mean by climbed Iroko tree? We have climbed Iroko tree today and it would be foolish not to take down all the firewoods we need. So now what do you mean by Iroko tree? So Iroko tree is a large hardwood tree. Okay, it is a hardwood tree and the tree speciality is all parts can be used. All the parts can be used. So the Ezenwa said that we have already climbed the Iroko tree. And if we climb down without taking all the firewood we need, it would be foolish. So we have, now this is our chance. In this chance, if we don't get whatever we need, it will be very foolish. It will be like climbing a tree and not taking whatever we need. Already we have climbed. So it is better we take everything and come down. Otherwise, it would be really foolish. Okay, so finally, Roof had to agree. Roof had to agree to whatever these people of Ezenwa were telling, because it is said that they had to collect all the firewood needed. Firewood here indirectly means they have to take all the money or all the benefit from Marcus. Okay, so Roof agreed. Why? Because Roof also had been taking a lot of firewood himself. That is, Roof also had taken a lot of benefit himself from Marcus. So what was the benefits which was taken by Roof from Marcus? So Roof had taken a lot of benefits from Marcus. So the first one was only yesterday. So it is said that yesterday only it had happened. He had asked Marcus for one of his many rich robes. Marcus had a lot of rich robes, that is costly gowns, costly dresses basically. So Rufus or Roof had asked for one of the rich robes or costly gowns from Marcus. It happened only yesterday and Marcus gave it to him. So that was one example. Again, last Sunday, what happened? Marcus' wife. And who is Marcus' wife? Marcus' wife was the teacher who got him in trouble when he was a school teacher. We had told one teacher gave complaint against him. The same teacher is now his wife. Marcus' wife had objected when Roof pulled out his fifth bottle of beer from refrigerator. So Roof had so much freedom in the house of Marcus that he just opened the refrigerator and took the fifth bottle of beer from the fridge or refrigerator. And this Marcus' wife did not like. Okay, Marcus' wife did not like, and she naturally objected. She said that, why are you taking so much freedom and coming to our house and taking things like this? So she objected. But the thing was that when his wife objected, she was roundly and publicly rebuked by her husband. Marcus indirectly scolded, Marcus directly scolded his wife. Okay, in front of all the people, he scolded his wife. So from that you can understand how much influence Roof has over Marcus. Instead of scolding Roof, Marcus scolded his wife. Okay, his wife had objected that he is taking too much freedom, and he came and opened the refrigerator and took the fifth bottle of beer. When wife objected, Marcus directly scolded her in front of the people. So that was again a benefit which Roof got, or a firewood which Roof got because of Marcus. And again, there was a land case recently. So Marcus had a land case recently, and it is said that to decide on the land case, and the land case was won by Marcus. This land case was won by Marcus, and among other things, he had been chauffeur driven to the disputed area. Roof was taken in a chauffeur driven car. Okay, in his, we already said that he had two long cars. In that chauffeur driven car, Roof was taken as if he was the owner of the area. So in the land case, the disputed site, Roof was taken in a chauffeur driven car. So by this we understood that he had taken a lot of firewood. Roof also had taken a lot of benefit from Marcus. So this elderly people told, if Roof can take so much benefit, why not us? Let us also take some benefit. That is why they said to Roof that this 2 shillings is very small. It is shameful. We cannot agree. So finally, what did Roof say? Roof said, okay, all right. He said, all right, and let us not quarrel about small things. So let us come to a compromise. He stood up, adjusted his robes. He just stood up from there. He adjusted his dress and plunged his hand once more into the bag. So he put his hands into the bag again, and he said that let us not quarrel over small things. Then he bent down and gave 1 more shilling to every man. So he gave 1 more shilling to the elderly people sitting there. So now first 2 shillings were given, now he gave 1 more shilling. So total 3 shillings were given to every man. Only he did not put into their palms, but he kept it on the floor. He did not give in their hand, he kept it on the floor. Okay, this extra one more shilling he took and he kept it on the floor in front of every man. The men who had so far not deigned to touch the things looked at the floor and shook their head. So these elderly men had also not touched the 2 shillings which was already given. So they looked again on the floor and they shook their head. They said, no, we cannot accept this also. They shook their head. They disagreed. Roof got up again and gave each man another shilling. So again Roof gave one more shilling. That is, along with the 3 shilling, he gave one more shilling. So like that, total 4 shillings are now offered to the elderly people during the whispering campaign. That is, during the deal, they are given 4 shillings. And after giving the last shilling, he said, I am through. That is, now I am done. Now I am not going to give another shilling. He said, I am through. And the elders too knew how far to go without losing decorum. So now the elders also knew if we ask for more, it will not be possible. So they knew that how much they have to ask without losing decorum. That is, in a decent way, how much they have to ask, or a decent or in a good behavior, how much to ask. These elders knew. So without losing decorum, they knew how much to ask. So when Roof became a little upset, he said, I am done. And he also said one more word, that is, go cast your paper for the enemy if you like. I can only give this much. If you are not satisfied, go give your vote to the enemies. Give your vote for the enemies if you like. So he became a little upset because the elders were asking for more benefit. He said, now I am done. Now if you don't want, go give your vote to the enemies. So the elders understood that Roof was a little upset, and the elders, what did they quickly calmed him down. He made him relaxed. They calmed him down, and with a suitable speech from each of them. Each one said a thank, each one tried to thank him, and they tried to calm Roof. Okay, now Rufus was being calmed by the elders, and by that they were speaking to Roof one by one. By the time the last man had spoken, it was possible without great loss of dignity to pick up the things from the floor. And finally they agreed on this 4 shillings, and finally these elders, without losing their dignity, they picked up things from the floor. That is, picked up things from the floor basically means that they took the shillings which was given to them, that is at 4 shillings they agreed, and they picked it up from the floor. So in today's video I will be explaining only this much. The continuation of this chapter will be said in the next video. So till this, if you have understood, please do let me know in the comment section. If you have any doubts, that also you can ask. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes, shares and comments will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you in the next video with the second part of the same chapter. Thank you for watching.